What's going on, world? Brian Wright here, and you're now tuned into the Brian Wright Radio Show. So, first of all, I want to say if you took the time to click on this video, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart because I hope this video is giving you a lot of value, just like it's giving me to give it. I appreciate you guys and everybody that's listening to me. I just want to say that I hope I make an impact on all your lives. So, today, the topic is adversity. Adversity's definition is difficulties or misfortune. Now, we all don't like adversity, myself included. Maybe you're going through it right now, maybe you just got out of it, but it's definitely not something that you look forward to. You know, as humans, we like being comfortable and we like being in our bubble. And the minute there's something that could cause adversity, that cause us to get out of our bubble, we definitely shy away from it and we run from it. And I understand because no one wants to do stuff like lose all their money, lose their loved one, go to the doctor and find out you got a disease, all that bad stuff that, no one really likes to talk about. But honestly, it's something that needs to be addressed because at the same time, adversity could be a bad thing. It could be a good thing too, because when you at rock bottom, the only place that you can go is up. When you face challenges, the only thing that you can do is grow. When you make a mistake and you fall on adversity, there's only one way to get yourself out, and you have to come up with better ideas. You have to become a better person, and you have to level up. And that's the beautiful thing about adversity. I remember a while back, I was going through a divorce, and it was one of the hardest things that I ever went through in my life. I was stuck in a house and stuck in a place where I didn't know nobody. And, being divorced, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I always tell married couples, like, if you can work it out because divorce is hard. It's emotional adversity. It's mental adversity. It's physical adversity because you're so used to dealing with that one person. And then when that one person is taken from you, it's like somebody ripping your heart right out your chest. And I remember being in that house every day and asking myself, I didn't have any money. I was broke as a joke. My best friend had to lend me $250, and he know that I'm the type of person that don't really ask for money like that unless I really need it. But he had previously gotten out of a relationship, so he knew exactly what I was going through because 9 times out of 10, when a man is getting out of a relationship, finances is something that go with it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm tied up in any child support, anything like that, because I'm not. But, I just had bad money habits. The person that I was with, we both had bad money habits. And, I was used to having good money habits. But, when you hang around people so long and, you in love, you do some crazy things. So I was in that house and I remember going through so much adversity. I remember nights crying. I remember nights seeing nothing but darkness. I remember nights where I had to get in the mirror and talk to myself and tell myself that I was going to be all right. The only thing that I had to do was wake up the next day and give my all and try to heal. But you know what's crazy? When I was in that house facing that adversity, I came out of it a different person. I ended up selling that house during COVID, making a lot of money. And I realized that, I went through, check the statistics. Most men, they get out of a marriage, some commit suicide, some go to drinking, some go into doing drugs, some go after chasing other women, to try to fill that void of, not having nobody. But I didn't want to do any of that because, I knew the only person that could fill the void was, respectfully for me, was God first and me second. So I chose not to do any of that stuff. I chose to tell myself. I remember one time my neighbor called the police on me because I was listening to a mix in my car. And instead of coming to me, and telling me about it, he called the police on me because he thought, I ain't gonna say because I was black, but he was kind of intimidated to come over and talk to me. I don't know why. I never really let off a hard persona or a difficult persona for people to talk to. Usually people know when they first meet me, I'm smiling. So maybe I didn't smile at this guy, but he called the police. The police came to my house. Now, mind you, I don't do any hard drugs, but sometimes I smoke marijuana. So police came. As soon as the police came, I had like a blunt in my hand because I wasn't expecting for it to be the police, but my house luckily didn't smell like it. So then I answered the door. The police said, "Hey, man, your music is too loud, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Okay, don't worry about it. It'll never happen again." Next thing you know, I go and I put my shoes on because I'm furious. And I run over to that neighbor's house, and he used to be a first sergeant, sergeant major. I used to be in the Army. And I told him, I said, "Hey, man, why didn't you come over there and tell me? I'm your neighbor, bro." Like, you know, and he was just like, "Well, I don't like getting into altercations with people." I'm like, "See, you don't even know me. I'm a cool guy. Like, I'm not even like that. I don't bother people unless they bother me. I would never start trouble unless somebody started trouble with me. I don't go looking for trouble. You know what I mean? If it finds me, then it is what it is. If I have to defend myself, okay. But I'm not that type of guy." And, we got in a little argument at first, and then it ended up calming down. I told him everything I was going through, and I just told him that I was just trying to, get my mix going and stuff like that. And I do music and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, "Next time that you have that problem, you can come over there, knock on my door like a grown man, and you can tell me." So I went home furious, and I remember crying, and I remember sitting on that floor, and I was like, "I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. I'm tired of being here. I'm going to get out of here." I repeated that for like an hour straight. And I was so ready to get out of there because the house brought back so many bad memories. But you know what? It's crazy because when I was ready to move on, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to find out what I need to do to get out of this adversity." And that's what you need to do. When you see something hard and it causes adversity, you need to think to the frequency of, okay, what is causing this adversity, and how can I get to the next step to never feel this again? So I felt like, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I say, "You know what? I'm going to sell this house." I knew a bad realtor. I mean, her name is Amber. She kills it out here in Killeen. She got her own brokerage and everything. I called her and I said, "Hey, I got a house that I want to sell, but I don't know how much it's worth." I was going to sell it to investors, and I'm glad I didn't because they buy your house dirt cheap. She came to the house, and then the next thing you know, she told me how much I could get for the house. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So next thing you know, what I started doing, I started selling stuff. I started getting it done. I started doing stuff. I started moving out. I started looking for apartments. I started doing the next step on what it took in order to get out of that situation. Long story short, sorry, I know it's been going long, but I sold that house for a substantial amount and walked away with a decent amount of money in my pocket. But that's not the only thing that I walked away with. I walked away a different man. You see, when adversity comes on you, what you need to do is think of the next step and immediately work towards it. Start hitting the steps on what it takes. So if you're going through financial trouble right now, what is it going to take to get to the next step? If you're going through marriage problems right now, adversity, what does it take to get to the next step? If you just got divorced, what does it take to get to the next step? Because you know why? Because dwelling on adversity will do nothing but make you fall into depression. That's all it's going to do. You never stay in your problems. You always find out how you can get out of it, because the same way that you got yourself into it is the same way that you can get yourself out of it. And sometimes, we need to just go towards adversity. Why? Because it's going to help us grow. I'm in school right now, and I get adversity every week. It's a class every 30 days. It's called Full Sail University. Look it up. And if anybody that wanting to go there, contact me through email and we'll talk about it. But, it's a class every 30 days. I have to, go into these projects and learn this software and have to go over, Pro Tools and all these plugins in 30 days, guys. This ain't no 6-month course. This is every 30 days. So I got to go in and figure all that out. So every time I sit in front of the computer every week, I have to tell myself, I'm about to face some adversity, but I'm about to come out of this as a different person that knows how to do something new, that knows how to maneuver now, that knows how the ins and outs work. See, that's the way adversity was designed. It comes on you in life and you learn the way that life works. You learn what not to do again. You grow from it. You recognize it and you go, you know what? That situation right there, if I get involved with it, it ain't going to do nothing but bring me adversities, aka difficulties. You learn so much from adversity, and people just want to stay the same and they want to be comfortable and they want to be who they are and they don't want to challenge themselves. And that's the reason why they never grow. Growth is essential to success. Jim Rohn once said, people asked him, when will things change? And he said, simple answer, when you change. He can tell you what any time of life is going to be like. I can tell you what 5 years is going to be like. I'm a psychic. You know how I know? Because the last 5 years is going to be like the next 5 years if you don't do nothing. If you don't challenge yourself, if you don't learn no new skill set, if you don't want to do anything above the norm, guess what? The next 5 years of your life is going to be normal. Unless you run towards things that are going to cause you adversity, you are not going to grow. And you know, on our channel, this ain't nothing but growth. That's the reason why I'm doing this. So I can see people say, you know what? I know that over there is going to be hard. I know real estate school going to be hard. I know this is going to be hard. I know start my own truck business going to be hard. I know start my own music business going to be hard. I know it's going to be hard, but guess what? If I don't pick hard, then my life will never be easy. And if I pick the easy right now, then my life later on is going to be hard. That's the way I need you guys to think when it comes to adversity. Now, don't just cause it on yourself, because that's what we do a lot too. We cause that adversity on ourselves, and then we want to blame people. They told us not to invest our money there. They told us not to mess with that girl. They told us not to do this. They told us not to do that. But guess what we did? We thought, hey, don't apply to me. I can learn. I'm smarter. Next thing you know, you in a hole. You don't even know what to do. You're going through difficult times, and you don't even know what you're going to do tomorrow. You don't know what tomorrow holds. But I tell you what, if you go step by step and you in adversity right now and you develop a plan right now and you say, I am going to follow this plan step by step until I get out of this adversity, and watch what happens to you. My adversity is school. Step by step, what I got to do in order to graduate, I got to sit here and buckle down. I got to actually spend 2, 3, 4 hours a day on my projects. And then next thing you know, bam, like that, I'm already graduated. I got 5 months left. And is it getting harder? Absolutely. But guess what? I know that adversity is going to cause me to grow. And I'm not going to be the same person that I was today, tomorrow. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Now, I don't know about you, but look at all the people around you that don't want to grow, that don't want to challenge themselves, that don't want to learn no new skill set, that don't want to do nothing above the norm. They want to take the easy road, and look at their lives. Not saying that they got it bad, because wherever people love to be in their life ain't none of my business. But majority of them scraping up change, always borrowing money, can't do nothing for themselves, always got to get others to do it, always blaming people, always complaining about how they ain't never got no money, always complaining about how life is going downhill for them. Because you know why? Because that's the way life is designed. If you don't grow, you don't grow. Plain and simple. So I want you to look in the mirror, because affirmations are powerful. I want you to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm going to get out of this adversity. You know what? I see this mountain of adversity that I got to climb in order to get to the next level. But you know what? I'm going to take it step by step, and I'm going to look at it as a challenge, because if I go into it now, I'm going to come out the other side a better person. So adversity, avoid it, but at the same time, run towards it. And when I say avoid it, I mean, don't cause it on yourself. Don't cause difficult times on yourself. I'm not saying avoid adversity, but if you know that person ain't no good for you, if you know that person ain't going to give you that money back, if you know this person's integrity is not that great, then you might want to avoid them, because they're not going to do nothing but cause adversity in your life. So let's get going. Let's go towards adversity. Let's go towards these challenges so we can come out different people. And with that being said, you know the motto: no distractions until riches. Level up.